Hi everybody, this is Kim Killingsworth. I am the Director of International Recruiting and Relations at the Vanderbilt MBA at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee, otherwise known as Music City, USA. I'm going to talk to you today about what to consider when choosing an MBA program in the US, and also tell you a little bit about the Vanderbilt MBA program. So first of all, a little bit about me. I have a career in international higher education with extensive experience in MBA international admissions. I formerly worked for Cornell and had a similar role working in international recruitment and admissions for their MBA program. While I travel the whole world recruiting students, my region of expertise is Latin America. I've spent parts of my career working in international development and working in education. And I've lived in Chile and Honduras, and I've also studied in Spain. So this is one of my favorite pictures down below. It was taken in Saudi Arabia, and while that's an undergrad applicant, I just loved his t-shirt that said, "Keep calm and kill zombies." So the first steps when considering an MBA program is that you really need to do a thorough self-assessment. You need to look at your career goals, the work experience that you've had so far, and if you're looking to make a career change, why you're looking to make a career change and why now would be the right time to do that. It's really important to invest time to be introspective and to do the research so that you are making a wise choice when you're making this investment. This is a huge investment, perhaps one of the biggest ones you'll make of your life. So it's really important that you do the self-assessment and make sure that you're pursuing an MBA for the right reasons. Next, I recommend that you research different industries and different sectors and companies. And a good tool to do that is vault.com and also through LinkedIn. So Vault will give you an overview of different industries and functional areas, as well as the different sectors and companies, whereas LinkedIn will be able to show you career progression in different people's profiles. So look at people that you know that have an MBA and get an idea of what their progression looks like throughout their career, and that should be really helpful. And I also recommend that you network, because this is something that's very, very important in MBA programs. So why not start it now? So reach out to people through LinkedIn. You might want to reach out to people that you've met through others to start with, or you might want to also reach out to alumni programs that you're considering. So some of the top reasons that candidates cite for getting an MBA are to accelerate their career advancement or to facilitate a career change, to go in a completely different direction or perhaps into a completely different industry. It's also to develop leadership skills. All of us teach leadership in some way or another, and I'll tell you how it's unique at the Vanderbilt MBA program. Also to explore diversity of ideas and subject matter. MBA programs by nature tend to be very diverse in the pool that they attract. So we're looking for candidates who have very diverse backgrounds. It'd be really boring if everybody had, a business undergraduate degree and the same type of experience. So we're looking for as diverse of candidates as possible. Some of us have actors, athletes, Olympians, as well as business people in our programs. And we do that on purpose so that you're able to explore this real diversity of ideas. It's also a way to transfer knowledge and to establish an expertise in an area, while also expanding your professional network and developing and enhancing your soft skills. There are many different types of MBA programs out there. There's the full-time, there are part-time programs for people who are working, there are online programs, and there are executive MBA programs, which are typically for people who have, say, 10 years or more work experience, and those are often for executives who are working and pursuing a degree, usually on weekends or in the evenings. There's a 1-year full-time MBA program, and there's a 2-year full-time MBA program. And what you need to take into consideration is if you are going to be career switching, you really might need that summer internship that's offered in the 2-year program, whereas the 1-year full-time program would not offer the internship. So if you're making a career switch, I highly recommend that you consider a 2-year full-time MBA program. Also, if you're planning on coming to the U.S., the F1 student visa will require that you're studying full-time, so the part-time program would not be an option for you. You are able to work on the F1 visa for a maximum of 20 hours on campus, but you may find that most MBA programs are so academically rigorous and that you spend a lot of time outside the classroom doing group study, teamwork, that you may not have time to work, so I wouldn't plan on that. And then there are general management programs versus concentrations or specializations. The way it works in the Vanderbilt MBA program is that you choose a concentration. You can actually choose 1, 2, or up to 3 concentrations. And concentration is a grouping of electives. So it's how you choose your electives. And in our general management track, you basically design your MBA program based on the electives that you need. So it's very, very personalized. So things to consider in the MBA program is the class or the cohort size and its relevance. So I often like to frame it this way to candidates. Think of a very, very large MBA program where you have maybe 800 students or maybe 1,000. You may sit next to somebody on day 1 and then get to know them. And then second semester comes along, maybe you never see them again because it's such a big program. Or you try to get access to the career management coaches and you have to wait 2 weeks to get an appointment. Versus a smaller program where you're more likely to get to know people and have easy access to your career management coach. You also may have easier access to alumni because they don't have so many students contacting them all the time. So just something to keep in mind when choosing a size of a program. And also think about how you learn best. Are you better being anonymous with a very large group of students, or are you somebody who likes to be known by everybody else and to know everybody else and to form a very, very close bond? Keep in mind that one of the main purposes of an MBA is to expand your professional network. These are the people that you're going to be in contact with throughout the rest of your career. These are going to be the people that you reach out to when you have hiring needs or you have a business problem. So keep that in mind when it comes to choosing the size of an MBA program. Next is the student to faculty ratio and access to faculty. If you have come from an environment of a public university, you know what it's like to be in a very, very large class, and maybe you haven't ever experienced having easy access to the professors. Whereas if you're in a small program, often found at private universities, you may have very, very easy access to faculty, where they have an open door policy and you can drop in at any time and chat with them about something that they covered in class or something that you're working on or the research that they're working on. So keep in mind the student to professor ratio. Next is the career management statistics. You want to look at what placement was like at the time of graduation and 90 days out. How many job offers did those students have? Do they break it down between U.S. students and international students? Because that'll make a difference. It's no secret that not every company these days will consider hiring international students to stay in the U.S. So you really want to look at those stats and ask that they be broken out by U.S. and international students. You want to look at the company where students got jobs at the business schools that you're considering and what their success rates were. Also to consider is the alumni network and how helpful they are. It could be a huge alumni network, but when it comes down to it, how accessible are the alumni? Do they return calls of the students? And how helpful are they? So that you can find out by talking to current students in programs and perhaps by reaching out yourself to some alumni or programs you're considering via LinkedIn, as I mentioned before. Look at the class profile. It'll show the size, it will show the percentage of international students, it will show the percentage of those that are married or partnered, it'll show the average age, the age range, the GMAT average, perhaps the 80% GMAT range. So all of those things need to be taken into consideration. Do you fit most of those criteria, or are you close to those criteria? They're not meant to be really fast rules as far as candidates that we'll accept, but they're to give you guidelines of what the current class looks like and what we're looking for. Next, you want to look at the location of the MBA program. Do you do better living in a big city, or perhaps a medium-sized to small city, or a rural location? It needs to be somewhere where you're going to be happy and thrive in for 2 years or 1 year if you're doing a 1-year MBA program. So that's really important. It's also important to take into consideration the cost of living where the MBA program is located. The cities on the west and the east coast tend to be more expensive than cities in between the two coasts, so take that into consideration. Next, a really big one is scholarship opportunities. Many people don't know that there are many scholarship opportunities in U.S. MBA programs. So take a look at that and look at the percentage of students who receive scholarship and what the average scholarship amount is. Look at the different loan options that these schools may offer for international candidates. I can tell you that the Vanderbilt MBA has 2 loan options that do not require U.S. cosigners. So look into those. That's very important to take into consideration, because even if you were to hit full scholarship, you still may need to take loans to have money to live on. So that's going to be important. And what's really important is the environment of the school, which will determine whether or not this will be a good fit for you. Like I said before, is the school somewhere where you would feel comfortable living for the next 2 years and where you're going to thrive? We want you to be successful, so we want it to be a good fit for you. So make sure that it's the type of environment you want to be in. So we often encourage candidates to come check out our programs, and we realize that's not possible for everybody, especially if you're coming from Chile, that's pretty far. But there are many different opportunities to reach out to current students that will help give you a sense of what the environment is like, or talk to local alumni, reach out to alumni through LinkedIn to get a sense of what the environment is. Next, I want to talk about working in the U.S. Because there's a big advantage for Chileans. I'm sure you all know about the H-1B visa program, through which you need to enter a lottery. After working your 1-year OPT, optional practical training, you then enter a lottery for the H-1B visa. But Chileans, through trade agreements that we have, that the U.S. has with Singapore and Chile, we have a special H-1B1 work visa. And there are 1,400 slots available on this visa, and to date, the quota has never been reached. So that is a huge advantage that Chileans have over candidates from other countries. It's a really good alternative to the H-1B visa. And initially it's for 18 months, and the status may be extended for an indefinite period of time, whereas the H-1B is initially for 3 years and can be renewed just once, but for a total of 6 years, and in some cases they'll let you extend it. But this would be a really good alternative. The H-1B one would be a great alternative to the H-1B visa. So what's important in an MBA applicant? As I mentioned at the very beginning of my talk, it's really important to be self-reflective, to do that self-assessment, and to have some idea of what your career goals are going to be. Now, we know that MBAs foster a sense of curiosity, and that often students are introduced to different functional areas and jobs they didn't even know they existed before entering an MBA program. And many students will change their path once they're in an MBA program. But you really need to have some basic idea of what you want to do, because recruiters start coming to the programs very early and start doing their information sessions and then recruiting for the summer internships. So you need to have some idea of what you think you want to do. You need to have very strong communication skills in English. All programs are going to expect that you participate in the classroom, because an MBA is designed for you to build off the experience that you bring to the classroom from your experience. You want to have the academic ability to do the program. Look at the class stats, the class profile that I mentioned before, as far as the average and the 80% range of the GMAT, and also what the GPA average is. So that will be important. You want to make sure that you're going to be successful academically in the program. Next, we're looking for candidates with teamwork and interpersonal skills. Everybody's been on teams. We're looking how you resolve conflict on teams. There's always conflict on teams. And if you've had any leadership of teams experience. And we're looking for leadership potential. We don't expect everybody to have had leadership experience. We don't expect everybody to have managed people, but we do look for potential. And also the desire to be part of a diverse community. As I mentioned before, all MBA programs are looking for a very, very diverse community, diversity of thought, diversity of nationality, diversity of backgrounds. So you need to have a desire to contribute and thrive in that environment. And then passion and drive that needs to really come through, especially if you're going to be looking for a job in the U.S. afterwards. Because as I mentioned, not every employer is going to hire international students. So really, really important to have that passion and that drive that really, really needs to come through. Next, I want to tell you a little bit about the Vanderbilt MBA. Vanderbilt University is a private university, private research university with about 13,000 students. It is located in Nashville, Tennessee, as I mentioned before, Music City, USA. And it's currently ranked number 14 in U.S. News and World Report as a university. And perhaps one of the most famous alums that we have is Mohammed Yunus, the founder of the Grameen Bank, the peer lending base of the pyramid. He did his PhD in developmental economics at Vanderbilt. Also rated by Princeton Review as the #1 college city that students love, and where we have the happiest students. The Vanderbilt, the Owen Graduate School of Management offers 7 different business degrees. We do not offer undergraduate degrees here in the Graduate School of Management, which means you would not be sharing resources with undergrads. It would all be graduate students. We're consistently ranked in the top 10% of accredited MBA programs by all the different rankings. And we're known for our very small class size, which leads to a very collaborative environment. We have an intake of about 170, 180 students each year, and it's a very, very collaborative environment. It's a place where you receive a world-renowned education on a very personalized scale. We like to say we are competitive but not cutthroat. This is somewhere where the professors will know you by name. As I mentioned, we're located in Nashville, Tennessee, in the southeastern part of the United States. Music City, USA. This is home to many recording studios. A lot of people come here to find their fame and fortune as singer-songwriters. And this is also the home of country music, but don't worry, if you don't like country music like me, you don't have to be subject to it. There's all different types of music, all nights of the week, and a lot of it is free. The students love the music scene, they love the restaurant scene here. It's a very, very fun city. In fact, about 100 people a day are moving to Nashville because there's so much job growth and potential here. It's home to the Nashville Entrepreneurship Center, which has been identified by Google as one of the 9 tech hubs for entrepreneurs in North America. It also has a very moderate climate, so it doesn't get that cold in the winter. And it's been rated by Travel and Leisure magazine as the friendliest city in the U.S. Lots of outdoor activities, lots of green space for hiking, biking, walking, running. And our students tend to live very close to campus. And if they live a little bit further out, they are able to take the bus in, which is subsidized for Vanderbilt students, so they don't pay anything. But a lot live within a 5-minute walking distance of campus. So I've got a map here with different circles on it, and that shows the different cities in the Southeast and on the East Coast that are within the easy 2-hour flight of Nashville. We are known for our leadership development program. It's a 2-year program embedded in the MBA. It's optional. I think people are crazy if they don't take advantage of it, because what we do is match you up with executive career coaches, executive certified coaches. These are people who have maybe 20, 30 years experience working with executives at Fortune 500 companies. You meet either one-on-one or in a small group of 3 students with the coach based on what you prefer. We give you the Hogan assessment, which is a tool that helps determine what your strengths and your weakness as a leader are. And then with that coach, you'll work on your weaknesses one by one to turn them into strengths. The second year of the program, you put into practice what you've learned with that coach. So, for example, if you want to take a role as president of the Latin Business Association, you can do that and put those leadership skills to test. The MBA program starts with a 3-week international student business program for the incoming international students, which gives you incredible access to the Career Management Center. They work with you on your resume and cover letters to make sure that those are ready to go, because recruiters start coming very early to campus. We work on your English language skills, and we introduce you to business acumen and doing business in the U.S. And we also give you some time to really get to know each other and bond with each other, and to do the things that it takes to move to another country, like set up your cell phone or set up your cable service. So it's a great way to transition into the program before the orientation starts. This year it started July 7th, I believe, or July 9th. So it starts early July and it runs for 3 weeks. We have lots of hands-on experience through our different immersions and our different treks. We have a consulting trek, a finance trek, tech treks to Silicon Valley and Seattle, to places like Google, Airbnb, Amazon, which is one of our largest employers. We have Brand Week, where CPGs come here on campus and talk about their products. We have a healthcare immersion because we offer a healthcare MBA, and Vanderbilt has a world-renowned medical center and medical school here on campus. So we have a healthcare MBA where students do a healthcare immersion. And then we have a lot of international seminar courses where you can travel to other countries. This year, over fall break, I know the students are going to be going to Japan. And then over spring break, there's a really cool course where the professor takes consulting students to Tel Aviv to work with startups. They work with the companies throughout the whole year, and then over spring break, they go to Tel Aviv and meet with the companies in person. We have the Owen Center for Entrepreneurship, and also Nashville has its own entrepreneurship center. So you have a lot of access to entrepreneurs and venture capitalists who act as mentors for the students. We also have a business plan competition where students can win $25,000 to start their business, or they can do it over the summer as a summer internship with $15,000 grant. We have the Turner Family Center for Social Ventures, which is the umbrella organization for Project Pyramid, which is an interdisciplinary program for grad students from throughout the Vanderbilt campus, the medical school, the law school, School of Education, Owen Graduate School of Management, in which we bring together students to work on business projects in the developing world to help alleviate poverty. And students travel to different places like Kenya, Guatemala, Nepal over spring break to work on their projects. The Career Management Center is currently ranked number 4 in the U.S. Students consistently rank at A+ in all areas. And you would be working with a career management coach. We have one in particular who works with international students, Brooke Meisner. You can see this picture here. Or you can choose to work with another career management center coach. Because we're a small program of only 170 students, it's very easy to have access to the career management center coach. Often you can get an appointment within a couple of days. Sometimes you can walk in at the end of the day and meet with Brooke. and you would work on many, many different aspects of the career search with Brooke. I mentioned before that you would participate in the International Summer Business Program where you would work on your resume, your cover letter, and you would also work with Brooke on going to different national MBA recruitment fairs, as well as meeting with the recruiters who come to campus to interview. You also would be doing mock interviews, and he would help you with networking with alumni and giving industry insights. And we have an internship fair. We have industry nights such as real estate and healthcare. There's all different types of activities. These are the figures for last year, the class of 2017. We don't yet have the class of 2018 out, but we should in about a month, so check back on our website for the employment report for 2018. But you can see here the top hiring companies, and then employment by job function. Top 3 were finance, consulting, and general management, and then by industry it was tech, consulting, and financial services. And then you can see there the average base salary and signing bonuses. Amazon has been our #1 employer, and for international students as well. Many of our international students go into the Amazon Pathways Operations Program, and many get consulting jobs with Deloitte in Atlanta. These are the employers of our international students in the past 10 years, 2008 to 2018. So I've broken it down by functional area and by also by industry, by healthcare. So you can see here top companies that have hired our international students. I'll give you a few minutes to take a look at that. We offer many different types of scholarships, including a scholarship just for Chileans, in which we offer a minimum of $10,000 per year. It can be all the way up to full tuition. You can find information about that on the EducationUSA site. We have Dean's scholarships, which are full tuition scholarships, as well as special programming and activities with the Dean and other VIPs. And we also offer diversity scholarships for different areas such as women. We partner with the Forte Foundation, which supports women in MBA programs, and also for Latin Americans. So many different opportunities. We also have a new scholarship this year where we partnered with QS for anybody who is attending a QS fair, which I'll be at in September in Santiago. So if you attend one of those and you are new to our program, you can receive up to 50% tuition. All of these scholarships are merit-based, so we're looking at your undergraduate record as well as your GMAT or your GRE scores. We take both, and your work experience. You do not have to apply separately. We automatically consider everybody for scholarship who is admitted. We also offer 2 loan options that do not require a U.S. cosigner. This is the class profile of the class that just started last week. You can see it's a little bit larger than 170. We have 179 students this year, average age 28, ranges from 24 to 44 years. And as far as undergraduate majors, about 40% have a business or economics background. Next biggest group is engineering, followed by social sciences. Average year's work experience, 5.5 years, and international students are about 16%. I often get asked why that's so low, where some schools have 50%. We take placement of international students very seriously. We don't want to admit a huge number, a huge percentage, and then have them not be successful in job placement. So we take the number that we feel we can be successful at in placing. The GMAT average is 678, 80% range is 630 to 730, so you want to aim for at least that when you're looking at the lower end. And we do take into consideration the test taking, the GMAT or the GRE test taking profile for your country when we're considering admission. TOEFL averages this year was 100, which is our minimum, and minimum recommended, and IELTS average was 7. These are our different deadlines. I would recommend you apply no later than the March deadline, and keep in mind that we have more slots and more scholarship available in October and January. But I also recommend that you not apply early just for the sake of applying early, but that you apply once you have a competitive application. Once all parts of your application are competitive. We have a couple of Discover weekends and Women in Business Symposium. We invite you to come to campus. You'll be getting emails about that. You sign up on the website, and you're welcome to come at any time and request an interview. I recommend you go to our website under MBA admissions. There's a section for international candidates, and up in the right-hand corner, international candidate resources. Lots of pages. I also recommend that you reach out to any of our current students. It's a great way to see what the environment is like here. You can do that through the website. Here's my contact information. I encourage you to reach out to me. Come to the QS Fair in September. Information on the website, and meet me in person. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much for participating. Bye-bye.